Have you ever, like, worked so hard for something you really wanted,
Uh,
only to be, like, totally dismissed when you finally try to get it?
yeah, I think we all have those kinds of experiences at some point, you
It's
know.
it's so disheartening.
It is.
Well, that's exactly what happened to Monique, and
Oh,
we have all of these sources here, like news articles, social media posts, even
oh,
some security camera footage. They
oh.
paint quite a picture, and we're going to dive into all this.
Okay.
And her story takes us to San Antonio, Texas,
Okay.
where we meet Monique, a single mom who's just working so hard to make ends meet.
And and at the center of it all is this dream she has,
Hmm.
a Tesla.
Yes.
But it's so much more than just a car for her.
Right.
It's like this symbol of achievement, a
Yeah.
real piece of the future she wants,
Hmm.
not only for herself, but for her son Malik as well.
Yeah, and you can see why this car means so much to her when you see
Oh,
all the sacrifices she made to save up for it.
oh wow.
Like extra shifts at the diner, no
Mhm.
vacations, even sewing clothes for neighbors late into the night.
Sheesh, that's dedication.
Talk about dedication.
Yeah.
Really?
You know, it's interesting because I think Monique's story really connects with something we all want.
Yeah.
That drive for something better,
Mhm.
to achieve something that matters,
Mm.
not only for yourself, but for your kids too.
Right.
That's a huge motivator for a lot of people.
Absolutely. So, okay, Monique, she finally hits her savings goal.
Okay.
And picture this.
Okay.
She rolls up to this sparkling Tesla dealership
Oh,
in
yeah.
her, like, reliable but kind of beat up Toyota. It's like this
Oh,
visual metaphor
I see,
for
yeah.
the gap she's trying to bridge.
It's like a before and after photo almost.
Yeah, and then the welcome she gets is
Yeah.
not warm at all.
Oh, no.
This salesman, Matt, gives her the once-over,
Oh, jeez.
looks at her handbag, her son's sneakers, and it's like you
Oh.
can just feel the judgment coming off him in waves.
You know those subtle cues?
Can really hurt, especially for someone who's worked as hard as she has to get there.
Absolutely.
It's like this reminder that looks and biases
Yeah.
can really influence how people treat us,
Yeah.
even if we don't realize it.
And, you know, for our listeners who may not know,
Yeah.
implicit bias is basically those unconscious attitudes and stereotypes that
Mm.
affect how we see things and what we do.
Exactly. It's something we should all be aware of.
It really is.
It sounds like in this situation, that bias turned into straight up disrespect.
Oh, totally.
This salesman actually questions whether Monique can afford the car.
I know.
And his tone is so condescending.
Oh, it makes me cringe just thinking about it.
Imagine how she felt after everything she went through to get to that point.
Right? It's a slap in the face.
It is, and it shows how companies need to do more than just have policies.
Right.
It's about building a culture where
Yeah.
everyone feels like they belong
Exactly.
and like they're valued.
Like they're respected as a customer.
Exactly. Yeah, so the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Oh, boy.
And Malik even says, "Mom, let's just go." You know, he can feel it too.
Oh.
But Monique, in this awesome moment of strength, stands her ground.
Good for her.
She demands to talk to the manager,
You go, girl.
refuses to be treated like she's less than anyone else.
That's what I'm talking about. This
Yeah.
is where you really see her character.
Yes.
She could have just walked away feeling defeated,
Right.
but instead she decides to challenge those assumptions they're making about her.
Exactly. It's such a great example of standing up for yourself
It is.
and demanding the respect you deserve.
Yes.
So the manager comes in, you know,
Oh, boy.
ready to smooth things over, or so he thinks.
Yeah.
But just as he gets there, another person walks in, and
Oh.
it's Elon Musk.
What?
No way!
Oh, my goodness. Talk about a plot twist.
Seriously? The whole atmosphere changes instantly.
I bet.
The salesman, Matt, I bet he's sweating bullets.
Oh, yeah.
The manager stiffens up, and Elon, just in his like typical direct way, just cuts to the chase. He wants to know what's going on.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like something out of a movie.
I know, right? Like Elon Musk just strolls in and changes everything.
And you know what? I think that was a smart move
Yeah.
by talking to Monique directly.
Mm-hmm.
Elon shifts the whole power dynamic.
Yeah.
He puts the spotlight right on the situation
Yeah.
and makes it clear he's listening.
Exactly. And that's where we'll leave you hanging for now.
Oh, no, come on.
What will Elon Musk do? Find out in part 2 of our deep dive into Monique's incredible story.
I can't wait.
Okay, so we're back, and things are about to get really interesting.
This is where Monique's story goes from like personal to like national news.
Right. It's not just about her
It
anymore.
becomes this huge thing.
Exactly. So remember how someone was filming the whole thing at the dealership?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, that video
Uh-huh.
hits the internet,
Oh, wow.
and it goes viral.
Like wildfire.
Like wildfire. Millions of people are watching this. I know Monique's story, this quiet dignity in the face of disrespect. It's like everyone's watching it unfold.
And you can see why it went viral.
Yeah.
It brought these issues of bias and corporate responsibility right to the front.
Front and center?
People who might not have ever thought about this stuff are suddenly seeing it play out in front of them.
Exactly. So what does Elon Musk do?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
He doesn't hold back.
Oh, really?
He calls out the salesman, Matt.
Oh, wow.
He says Matt's behavior goes against everything Tesla stands for.
Good.
He talks about how Tesla is all about innovation and inclusivity, and discrimination has no place in their company culture.
Yeah, that's what a leader does.
Right.
He's not just talking to policy. He's stepping up when he sees something wrong happening.
Exactly. And he's using his influence to send a powerful message.
Absolutely. Tesla values every customer, no matter their background, no matter how much money they have.
Yeah. But it goes beyond just words.
Okay.
Elon actually takes charge.
Oh, wow.
He makes sure Monique gets the best deal.
Wow.
And is treated with the respect she deserves. He walks her through the paperwork himself.
He didn't have to do that.
I know. It's like he's showing everyone that he means business.
It's putting his money where his mouth is.
Exactly. And the story doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
This video keeps spreading. People are talking about it everywhere.
What were they saying?
Social justice, economic inequality, the power of speaking up against injustice.
It's amazing how one incident
can
spark such a big conversation.
I think it shows that people really want fairness.
Yeah.
They want businesses to be inclusive and respectful.
I think you're right.
And Monique, she becomes this symbol of perseverance.
Kind of accidentally.
Right. She didn't plan to be a viral sensation. But her courage to stand up for herself really connected with people.
It's inspiring.
It is. It shows that individual actions can make a difference.
That's a really important point. We all have a part to play in making things better.
Absolutely.
We need to recognize our own biases, challenge discrimination when we see it, and fight for those who are being treated unfairly.
Right. And together, those actions can lead to real change.
I agree. So let's take a step back for a second and focus on Elon Musk's response.
All right.
It's interesting because people had different opinions about it.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Some thought he was just being a good guy, genuinely concerned about Monique.
Right.
Others thought it was all about PR.
Oh, like damage control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Protecting the Tesla brand.
So what's the truth?
That's a good question.
Let's explore that and more in the final part of our deep dive into Monique's story. All right, so we're back talking about Monique and how her experience at the Tesla dealership really got people thinking about some bigger issues.
Yeah, it's like her story didn't end when the video stopped, you know?
Right. It's still making us look at ourselves and the systems we're a part of.
It is. It's kind of like holding up a mirror to society, isn't it?
Yeah, like we see ourselves in these moments. Maybe we remember times we didn't speak up for ourselves or for someone else.
Or maybe times we've been the ones making someone feel less than without realizing it.
Exactly. It's like Monique's story shows just how widespread implicit bias is.
It does, and it reminds us that it can affect anyone, no matter how good their intentions are.
Right, and it highlights how important it is for us to really examine our own biases.
Absolutely. We all have a responsibility to do that.
Yeah, to make things more inclusive.
So, you know, we were talking about Elon Musk's response before.
Yeah, some people thought it was like a genius PR move. Others thought he was just doing the right thing.
What do you think?
I think it's complicated, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's not so black and white.
Right. On the one hand, his actions definitely made Tesla look good.
For sure, it showed they care about their customers.
Yeah, and about social responsibility.
Which is something a lot of people care about these days.
Absolutely. But on the other hand, even if it was partly about PR, it doesn't change the fact that he did something good.
Right. He fixed a wrong.
Stood up for Monique.
Yeah. He used his position to promote inclusivity.
And that's a key takeaway, I think.
What's that?
Actions matter more than words.
I like that actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. Whether Elon was being genuinely concerned or protecting Tesla's image, his actions helped create positive change.
Did he set an example for other leaders?
And started a bigger conversation about how businesses can be more inclusive.
Exactly. So thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what can we as individuals do to make a difference?
That's a good question. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by these huge problems.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, how can what I do really change anything?
Exactly. But change happens one interaction at a time.
That's true.
Right? Like, if we're all mindful of our biases,
Uh-huh.
if we challenge discrimination when we see it, treat everyone with respect,
Mm-hmm.
those actions add up.
They do. They create a ripple effect.
Yeah, and make things better.
And the most inspiring thing about Monique
What's that?
is that she wasn't trying to be an activist or anything.
Right. She just had a dream.
Yeah.
And the courage to stand up when someone tried to crush it.
And she started a movement.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It shows that we all have the power to make a difference.
Even in small ways.
Yeah. So next time you see someone being treated unfairly,
Uh-huh.
remember, Monique, think about what you can do.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a kind word, or maybe it's speaking up when it's hard.
What matters is that you do something.
Exactly. Your actions matter.
Monique's story is a great example of that.
It is. It shows how important it is to keep going.
Mm-hmm. To stand up for what's right.
Yeah, and how one person can create real change.
That's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
We start with one story and discover all these connections to bigger issues.
We learn from each other.
And hopefully come away feeling inspired.
Inspired to make the world better.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been great.
We hope this has given you something to think about.
Something to chew on.
And maybe even empowered you to make a difference.
In your own way.
We'll be back next time with another fascinating story.
Can't wait.
See you then.